Question 444. What does the Church's social doctrine say about the topics of labor and unemployment?
To work is a duty that God has given to us. In a common effort, we are supposed to look after and continue His work of creation. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to till it and keep it. Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. For most people, work is the foundation of life. Unemployment is a serious misfortune that must be dealt with resolutely. While today, many people who would like to work find no jobs, there are also workaholics who work so much that they have no time left for God and their fellow men. And while many people can scarcely feed themselves and their families with their wages, others earn so much that they can live a life of unimaginable luxury. Work is not an end in itself, but should serve the development of a humane society. Pope St. John Paul II, in his encyclical Laborem Exercens, wrote, "Work is a good thing for man, a good thing for his humanity, because through work, man not only transforms nature, adapting it to his own needs, but he also achieves fulfillment as a human being, and indeed, in a sense, becomes more a human being." That is why Catholic social teaching is committed to an economic order in which all men can collaborate actively. And share in the prosperity that is achieved. It insists on a just wage that enables all to have a dignified existence. And it calls on the rich to practice the virtues of moderation, solidarity, and sharing.
Question 445. What is meant by the principle labor before capital?
The Church has always taught the principle of the priority of labor over capital. Pope St. John Paul II, Laborem Exercens. Man owns money or capital as a thing. Labor, in contrast, is inseparable from the person who performs it. That is why the basic needs of laborers have priority over interests of capital. The owners of capital and investors have legitimate interests too, which must be protected. It is a serious injustice, however, when entrepreneurs and investors try to increase their own profits at the expense of the basic rights of their laborers and employees. For example, suppose a machine breaks down in a factory and kills a person in the process because the machine was old. If investors refuse to allow the factory to shut down for a little bit to take care of the person's funeral and replace the machinery because of how it will affect profits, that's not protecting the basic rights of laborers and putting the investors' rights above the laborers' rights.
Question 446. What does the church say about globalization?
Globalization is in itself neither good nor bad. It is rather the description of a reality that must be shaped. Originating within economically developed countries, this process, by its nature, has spread to include all economies. It has been the principal driving force behind the emergence from underdevelopment of whole regions. And in itself, it represents a great opportunity. Nevertheless, without the guidance of charity and truth, this global force could cause unprecedented damage. And create new divisions within the human family. Pope Benedict XVI, Caritas in Verite. When we buy inexpensive jeans, we should not be indifferent to the conditions in which they were manufactured. To the question of whether or not the workers received a just wage. Everyone's fortune matters. No one's poverty should leave us indifferent. On the political level, there is a need for a true world political authority. Pope Benedict XVI, Caritas in Verite, citing Pope St. John XXIII, encyclical Pacem in Terris. To help reach a compromise between the people in the rich nations and those in underdeveloped countries. Far too often, the latter are still excluded from the advantages of economic globalization and have only burdens to bear. Pope St. John Paul II said in 2003, "It is disturbing to witness a globalization that exacerbates the conditions of the needy." That does not sufficiently contribute to resolving situations of hunger, poverty, and social inequality that fails to safeguard the natural environment. These aspects of globalization can give rise to extreme reactions, leading to excessive nationalism, religious fanaticism, and even acts of terrorism.
Question 447. Is globalization exclusively a matter of politics and economics?
There used to be the idea of a division of labor. Economics should be concerned about increasing wealth, and politics should be concerned about distributing it justly. In the age of globalization, however, profits are obtained globally, while politics, to a great extent, is still limited within national boundaries. Therefore, what is needed today is not just the strengthening of transnational political institutions, but also the initiatives of individuals and social groups that are active economically in the poorer regions of the world, not primarily for the sake of profit, but rather out of a spirit of solidarity and love. The market and the state are necessary, but so is a strong civil society. In a market, products and services are exchanged for goods having the same value. In many regions of this world, however, the people are so poor that they cannot offer anything in exchange and therefore continue to be left behind. So there is a need for economic initiatives that are defined not by the logic of exchange, but rather by the logic of the unconditional gift. Pope Benedict XVI, Caritas in Verite. This means not merely giving alms to the poor, but rather helping them to help themselves by opening up paths to economic freedom. There are Christian initiatives, for instance, the Economy of Communion project of the Focolare movement, which today involves more than 750 businesses worldwide. There are also non-Christian social entrepreneurs who, though profit-oriented, nevertheless work in the spirit of a culture of giving with the goal of alleviating poverty and marginalization.
Hi, I'm Katie Locus. This is my sign name. I'm from the Archdiocese of Kansas City in Kansas. Thank you so much for watching our video this week. Hope to see you again next week. Bye!